new this week and talk about the first set briefly before we go into part 2. So for part 1, we've got the palms together. I'm going to assume we've already done our opening. So palms together in front of the breastbone, feet together. The head is going to turn to the left. The hands are going to go to the right. Okay, first let's just do that. So head turns to the left, hands go to the right. And then they come back together to meet in the center. Head now turns to the right, hands go into the left. And then they come back to the center. All right, so breath, inhaling, exhaling, in and out. Now, if you've noticed, I'm getting this little U type shape. So the hands come up just a little bit as I inhale. They descend a little bit as I exhale, inhaling and exhaling. So this is the fun part. We get to add in the hips and the knees. So as our heads turn to the left, our hips are also going to go to the left as we sink at the knees. And then we bring everything back to the center. Sinking at the knees, turning to the right as the hips go to the right, coming back up to the center. Inhaling and exhaling. In and out. Inhaling and exhaling. One more time. In and out. Okay, so that's part 1. Part 2. Before we do part 2, a quick anatomy for part 2. We've got the throat level. We've got the solar plex level. We've got the lower dantian level. Okay, throat, solar plexus. Solar plexus is right where the rib cage meets, just underneath the xiphoid process. And if you poke there a little bit, it may feel a little uncomfortable. And then the hips, or sorry, not so much the hips, but the lower dantian 3 to 4 finger breaths beneath the belly button. Okay, so we've just done our side-to-side movement. Now, this is without the breath work, just the mechanics. The hands are going to elevate. And then they're going to come back down above the right side of the head at a little angle. I'm trying to mirror you. And we're going to sink with the knees, with the hip, once again, going in the same direction as the head. So hips, head going to the left, hands going to the right. And I think of it as like a little jaunty hat that I'm wearing on my head. You don't want the hands touching the head, but that's how I think of it, is a little jaunty hat on the right side of my head. So we're inhaling, exhaling, and then we're going to sweep the arms out in front of us, pinky side, as our hips go in the opposite direction and our head is moving in the opposite direction of the arms. So the arms and the the head and the hips move in the opposite direction of the arms. So let's do that one more time. We've got our jaunty hat. We're sweeping the arms out, passing the level of the throat. Then we're flipping the hands. Once again, we've got that pinky side out, and we're slicing across the level of the solar plexus. Flipping the hands, going across the level of the lower dantian. And then to start again, we're simply elevating the hands. So now they're the thumb side out. Sweeping now across the solar plexus, flipping the hands, thumb side out, sweeping across the throat, and then the hands together are going to travel like it's a planet, like you're, I don't know which, but planet orbiting the sun? Yes, planet orbiting the sun. The hands are orbiting the head to come back to that jaunty hat. Okay, so across the throat, across the solar plexus, across the lower dantian. Elevating without flipping, across the solar plexus, flip, across the throat, and then your hands are the planet rotating around the sun to come back to the jaunty hat. It's pinky side out, pinky side out, pinky side out, elevating, thumb, flip, thumb, and then rotating all the way over to the jaunty hat. Now the breathing. We're inhaling, exhaling, in and out. One more time, inhaling and exhaling, in and out. For part two, we're inhaling as we elevate, exhaling, head and hips to the left, the hands on the right. We're inhaling as we come across the throat, exhaling across the solar plexus, inhaling across the lower dantian, raising, exhaling across the solar plexus, flip, inhaling across the throat, and then rotating as we exhale to come back to our starting point. In, out, in, out, inhale, and exhale. One more time. In, out, inhaling, and exhaling. Okay. All right, so that's going to be it for Swimming Dragon right now. We're going to add in part 3 next week, as well as do a lot of review. Okay. So to close, as I do want to close, sweeping down, inhaling all the way up, exhaling, in, out, inhaling, and exhaling. With the breath for the second part, it might be a nice little reminder, inhaling at the beginning and at the end, and the solar plexus, if you do press in a little bit, you automatically kind of want to exhale because it doesn't feel so good. It pushes the breath out. So if that helps, remembering the breath pattern. If it doesn't, then don't think about it. Okay, now we get to move along to our seasonal exercises. We're still